Good morning, people. It is November 5th. Yeah, you don't want to hear it, but Christmas is upon us. Thanksgiving is upon us. Better start shopping now, unless you don't have anybody to shop for. I mean, I got a lot of people I could shop for, but finances will not allow. When they do allow, I usually do something. I got carried away one year and just got everybody presents. Even though they were small, they add up. And I was talking about the children mostly. Not my brothers and sisters, but my brothers and sisters' children. They don't know me, do they? Purpose of my channel are a lot of things. My ex, it's weird to call him my ex. We were married for a long time. But he said, "Now you are immortalized." I thought that was really great. I didn't think about that. So as long as YouTube exists, and if you have my code, so to speak, I'm going to pull this down a little bit. In other words, you have my channel. If you have my channel, then you can get to me and see me all the time. However, Linda, and anybody else, really, I don't know what you find when you get on my channel. I hope you are a subscriber. And I think if you are a subscriber, you can search my channel and go back to the beginning. Okay, and if you can't go back to the beginning, then I did post, under post, I did put I made a list, and it wasn't a complete list, of the ones that you really need to look for, okay? So, that little search thing at the top, I'm not sure which side it's on or whatever, but you go to the search, you guys know what it looks like, and then you put the title of my paper. Let's see, I call them papers because I wrote them on paper. And they were my thoughts, okay? And I do feel that they were inspired. Maybe not all of them, but sometimes I'm compelled to do things. And it does say to not be compelled in all things. But if you go into my community, you have to search around, and there's a place that says community. And you click on that, and then it's going to show you my post. Like pictures and things I wrote in there. I'm not real good at this stuff. I'm really not. And I'm sure you can tell. But if you will go to my post and scroll down, you'll see a paper handwritten that's telling you several different titles of my papers that you should look at. So what you do is you write the title. And then you put on Lose Touch, LOU''S, TOUCH, 2 words. That's my channel. And if you will do that, it should bring up my face. Sometimes I'm surprised, but maybe I just got something a little bit wrong on the title. And so sometimes I'm not the very first thing that pops up, but I should be. But if not, if you scroll down a few, you'll find me. Now, I looked up something the other day, and I didn't find me at all, so I had to have done something wrong. But I have got like over 750 videos. And I am not sure if that's counting my shorts as a video, because what I did was, a while back anyway, quite a while back, I realized that my stuff's too long and people don't know who I am, and so they don't want to listen that long. My daughter said, "I don't have a long attention span." And yeah, I understand, because I don't either. I flit all over the place. But I do find that the things I have to say are interesting. Interesting enough that I listen to them. And I do. Sometimes I don't have time to go back and listen to them, but I have been known to listen to them over and over again. And no, they don't count those as my views, okay? They might count me the first time that I view it, but they keep track. So all the times that you view it over and over again, they're not counting that as one of my views, okay? Guess how many I got? I'm so surprised. And really, I guess it's not very many, not compared to some. Oh my. I mean, some of the songs that I looked at, millions of views. Wow. I would love that. But I want to have a party of some sort. I want to have a celebration anyway, because here pretty quick, I'm going to be at 100,000 views. I mean, I keep seeing it going up. Maybe 100 or 2 a day. I just would love it if everybody would look over all my stuff. And so that's what I was that's what I was saying was my shorts. I discovered that I could make shorts out of my long videos. And so I started taking little pieces that were really good and putting them in as shorts with the hope that someone would listen because it's short. And that you guys know that all you got to do is you click on that. And I haven't done it in a while, but I believe it's in the bottom right-hand corner. There'll be a picture of me. And you click on that, and then it'll take you to the original video. That's a lot longer, okay? But if you found something interesting in my shorts, that will take you to a really great paper. Yeah, I know. Especially my family probably thinks I'm just full of myself. That's the way it goes, you know. And here I've said it before. And every time I say that, that's the way it goes. First your money, and then your clothes. That's something my dad would always say. Papa Bear. Anyway, he had a lot of sayings, and then he would tell us, you know, I think we all do that. He would say, my pappy used to say. And I remember his dad from when I was a little thing. They probably look a lot alike, really. And I remember him frying hot dogs. He worked at a bar, and bar and grill, okay? So they got alcohol there, and they played pool there, and he would take a long hot dog, a longer hot dog, and slice it in half with it staying together, not all the way cut through, okay? And then he would fry that on the grill, both sides. It was one of those, like you have a griddle, okay, so a flat surface. And he'd make hot dogs out of that. Oh my God, they were so good. I liked that. Spreads the hot dog part over the bun on one side instead of this little thing stuck in the middle. Just made it really special. So I got memories of that. I can see him cooking those hot dogs. And I had to have been really, really young, okay? Really young, like 3 or 4, 5. I don't even know if I was 5. And then what else? I just remember that bar and grill. And then Dad worked at a place pretty close, I'm pretty sure, that he worked at a propane place not far from there, because we would go and visit Grandpa. But my dad would, not back then, you know, but later in life, he would tell us what his pappy used to say. And then we go around telling what our dad said. Well, Dad used to say. Anyway, you know, I've got a video. I'm going to have to look at it. I've got a video of Dad telling a story about his marriage. Not his marriage, but maybe part of that's in there too. I mean, there's some things in there. But the trip they made to the temple to be sealed for time and all eternity. eternity. I don't say my words very well. It took great faith to do what they did. I don't have all the details in my head, but I do have a video of Dad telling that, so I might just put that on my channel because it's important. That's what I want. I want to be married for time and all eternity and to someone I totally, totally love, okay? Not a jerk. Everybody out there might take offense at that. But you will find if you are into your religion and your mate is not, then you got a problem. You got a big problem. And I worry about that. You see, my problem is if I find, I don't know how I would find somebody just like me. Okay, someone who knows my religion, believes it, wholeheartedly believes it, but then is different than the rest of the world. I mean, I have been told, and he's right, I'm one in a million. Well, actually, there's only one of me. But finding someone who will understand me, appreciate me, value me, respect me, and want to be with me forever. That's a big deal. And especially in my situation, I've had this problem all my life because the church does get in the way. You know, that might not sound very good, but it does. In other words, in your choices of companions, there's just nobody like me, okay? I thought I had somebody like me, I'm just not sure. But then there's the whole thing about my religion. I mean, I've been trying to put it out there on this channel to let you people know the truth is here. And a way of life is here, the way you need. Not all that nasty crap that's out there, people. You can't even get on TV without, you know, I don't have regular TV, okay, so we can control that a little bit. But sometimes there's just things that you don't want to see, and you definitely don't want your children seeing. So I can understand that. I'm a different person. I'm a strange bird. But I like me. In fact, I love me. And to find somebody that loves me the way I love me, now that's a trip. That's still up in the air. Because I am extraordinaire. I have to rhyme. I can't help it. Especially when you're happy, it makes you do that. It makes me do that. I rhyme and I sing. And that's something my dad used to do that drove my mother crazy. And I know he didn't do it all the time. But when I came around to visit, especially, you know, when I lived so far away and wasn't around very much, but he would sing. He would be making up words and singing, just like I do. Or like I even did at 4 years old, maybe earlier. I would make up words and sing them. So I was making up songs all the time. But anyway, he'd be all jovial is the thing. He'd be all happy. And he was driving Mother crazy. And she made mention of it to me, you know. But I realized when you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Or when you're happy and you know it, sing a song. That's how it goes. And then I rhyme. And no, it's not how the song went, okay? It was how I said it. When you're happy, it just kind of boils out of you. And other people think you're nuts. And maybe I am. And someone said to me, "You're not normal." I said, "No, I never claimed to be normal. I am Abby normal." And you better appreciate it. You know, appreciate that I'm not normal. What is normal? Complacent. Do you know that word? That might be the norm for a lot of people. You'd have to look up that word so you can figure that out. but it is a word of being. And I was that way. I was that way with my last husband. Meaning just being happy with what you got and not striving to do something better with your life. Complacent. And you could use the word laziness. But it's still being happy with what you got. Okay? And in some ways, that's a real good thing. But we got a lot to do, people. There's a lot to be done in this world. And you can't do it that way. And what I'm trying to say is I bought a property out in the middle of nowhere. And I bought it with another property because what we did was we traded. Okay? He wanted to get out of where he was, and we wanted to get out of where we were, and he got a hell of a deal. And he did try to tell me, but you can't really explain to somebody. I went to property. I didn't have the amenities of life, but yet I still, with all of that, was able to be complacent, okay? But then when you find out, you know, you understand and you see that things are not right and not the way they are meant to be. That had to rhyme. But that is basically being lazy. And I don't like that word. I don't want to be called lazy. However, I guess I am. It depends on your lifestyle. It's a good thing to be able to be happy with what you got. But when you find your mate is not who you think he is, and he's changed. He started being with some people that turned him into somebody else. He forgot where his loyalties lie. And he showed it. And I had a blessing when I got my diagnosis of cancer, and I was trying to figure out what to do, and they wanted me to do the norm, you know, let's do all these chemotherapy sessions, and then let's go do radiation after that. And they're killing the cancer, but they're killing you too. And I just didn't know what to do. I knew I did not want to do that. So I asked for a blessing from the priesthood, that which I've been telling you about, the power of God, okay? Anyway, I was told a lot of things in that blessing. And one of them was that you are going to come to the realization of exactly who you are. I was strong, and I didn't realize how strong until a little bit later. Okay, I know. You guys don't want to hear that, and some will be all funny about that, but I am a person of great power because of my faith. When you totally believe that you have God with you, I'm talking in everyday life, all the different things that pop up, but you believe, then you have help. More help than you would have. However, there's more to what I was going to say, but I thought maybe I better not say that. But the point is, I have a calling, and that is to teach the Book of Mormon, to bring people to the light. Now, I'm added that in there, okay? But when you know what you are, who you are, and where you come from, where you're going, you have purpose in life, okay? You're not just here drifting along. You shouldn't be drifting along. And I've been guilty, totally guilty. I have great things to do, and I haven't done them. I mean, I have, but not in the way that I could. And I have decided, I did decide this is the way. My YouTube channel. It's the way that I can talk to everybody. So you can be alone in the world and still talk to millions. And that's what I want to do. And, you know, having cancer, not knowing how long you're going to live, and da-da-da-da-da, stirs you on to do what you're supposed to be doing. It's like smack you in the face. Hey, wake up. You got things to do. People to see. People to talk to. And tell you you are of great worth. It said in my patriarchal blessing that when it was announced that I was coming to earth, those in authority put their hands on my head and gave me blessings for this life. That's pretty profound. That's a pretty strong statement, right? I was 16 when I got that blessing. I had no idea what it meant. But all through my life, I have tried to share the Book of Mormon. Once upon a time, I had a thing I called it a treasure hunt, okay? We had a list of scriptures and things somebody had done. It was really wonderful. It was through the Book of Mormon. And so there's a lot of really great and marvelous things in the Book of Mormon. And this treasure hunt took you to them. Instead of having to go through the whole thing, I would send them from page to another page to another page and have something written and something highlighted on that page, which was of great worth. And I spent my time doing that, marking Book of Mormons to give away. So not only was I giving away Book of Mormons, but I was giving them a treasure hunt through it. And I don't know if my little nieces and nephews that are not so little anymore, I don't know if they remember that, but I gave every one of them one. I'm pretty sure I gave every one of them one, or maybe it was, you know, they're of all different ages, so it might have just been the first couple, three. I don't know. But not everybody appreciates what you do. But it did take you to some really great things, and I've lost that. I believe it's in my shed on my property, and that front door got all, it let the water in. It let the moisture in, so I'm not sure. I tried to keep what they call a template. I tried to keep, because I would do that. I'd have a template, and then I would go over here and mark it, and then I'd go to the next page. And it wasn't every page, okay, but it was important stuff. I need to find that. So I know you children of my family, not everybody's listening, but Krista, TJ, if you guys know where one of those are, could I have it? I want to be what they call you know, that you renege. What do you do when you give something away and you want it back? I have some things I've given away that I want back. But I want that one so I can make more. But see, back then, we didn't have this internet. That was a long time ago. Way long time ago I was doing that. So I wish I did have. Because then I would just read those important things to you. But we all are God's children. And that means we are heirs to the throne. We are royalty. You know, you people with your kings and queens down here, you ain't nothing compared to God. And I'm just saying. I read something the other day. What was it? The King of Kings? The Lord of Kings. The Lord, I don't know what it was. But King of Kings, that's Jesus Christ. You know. When the millennium's going on, there will be a lot of kings and queens and territories. Jesus will be at the head of everything. But he will appoint people to work for him, to do things that, you know, need to be done. And really it boils down to taking care of other people. So those kings and queens are servants to their people, not tyrants. Do you understand that? So anyway, I probably need to keep on keeping on with this Book of Mormon thing so that you guys can understand things. And I know, you members of the church, you know a lot, but we're all at different levels in our knowledge and in our faith and in our willing to do stuff for the church, for the people. But heirs to the throne, every one of us. And that's talking about in the end. We go through the millennium, that's our next existence. And then, after the millennium is over, we will go to these different worlds that we have earned, okay? And you want to earn the celestial kingdom. You want to be in the celestial kingdom. And even if you're only at the bottom of the celestial kingdom, at least you can rise to the top. Each kingdom, there's 3 kingdoms of glory. I'm not sure if I'm saying that quite right. There's 3 worlds, okay? The celestial, the terrestrial, and the telestial. Telestial being the bottom, celestial being the top. And in each one, there's 3 levels of glory. So that's why I think I'm not saying it quite right. Anyway, when you get into the celestial kingdom, if you do, you might already have attained what you need to be in the top of the top. Because that's the top kingdom, and there's 3 degrees of glory in each kingdom. If you're just at the bottom, you can work your way up. But if you're in the terrestrial, you cannot leave the terrestrial unless it's to go down. I think you might can visit the telestial, but you can't go up to the celestial. They can come down to you. We'll say visit. That's what I was told long ago. But anyway, people, it is important what I've been trying to tell you. And it's not just like reading a book. Inside that book, you find out a lot of things. Like in Ether, you find out that Jesus Christ, as a spirit, looked the same. A grown spirit, like an adult. He looked the same in his spirit as he did in his physical being. Because the brother of Jared was allowed to see all kinds of things. And when he saw Jesus, but Jesus was in a spirit form. He had a body, but not a body. This is a physical body. But he evidently could be seen in his spiritual body. So I find that interesting. I would like to think that I look the same there as I do, not now, but in my younger days I was pretty nice. That was a long time ago. So all these old decrepit people that you see once were beautiful. Maybe. We made choices before we came to Earth as to where we would go, because there are other worlds besides this one. And some people chose to go to those other worlds because they weren't as hard and harsh and tempting. So these other worlds, they were kind of guaranteed a certain thing just by being there, whereas we have to fight for our right. Now, in order to be able to go to the celestial kingdom, you had to come to this earth, is the way I understand it, even though it's harsh, because it's the choices that you make. You're being tested. And you can't just take it for granted. This life is important. Okay? And don't let anybody put you down to the ground. Make fun of you. Like those people in the spacious building in Lehi's vision. I've told about that. It's a Tree of Life vision. The Tree of Life is a pretty big thing, so it must be in the Bible too. I mean, I see it all over the place. The Tree of Life. So the fruit of the Tree of Life, the flavor of that fruit cannot be compared with. But they try to keep you away from it. And when I say they, Satan and his third of the host of heaven are these little bad guys around here, causing havoc, telling you things in your ears that aren't true, tempting you with all kinds of things that you have to learn to avoid. First thing you do is avoid it. But if you're involved in it, or if your people are involved in it, and there you are, what do you do? If you can help, you do. If they're just going to bring you down, you need to get away. Okay? Because some people are not able to be helped. And they will bring you to their side. They will bring you down to the ground and make you think that you're doing something great. Anyway, I should get off that subject. I don't know why I do that all the time. I was going to get on here and read what I told you I was going to read. But I haven't done it, and that's so long. It's really long. I was itching my foot. Or my ankle, really. Oh, I am so glad to be back home. But it really isn't home. It's Nancy's home. But still, it's a nice place to be. I've got to get my wits about me and get going. I got a lot of things to do still. And you can't do it when you're dead. There comes a time when you can't do anything because you're not here anymore. The labor has to be done while you're here on earth. So I'll tell you again, get busy, get with it, come to church, get a hold of them. You can get a hold of the scriptures without going to church. And one of these days we won't be going to church because there won't be enough room for all the people. Serious. Church has changed over the years. We used to go morning and night on Sunday, and then we had meetings all week long for the primary and the mutual and the da-da-da-da-da, which is all encompassing and kept you in church all the time. Okay? Then I don't know how it all went through. I'm just saying, in the old days when I was in the 8th grade, and my dad was a branch president, and we were at church all the time. And then, anyway, then they got to where there was a 3-hour segment that you went, and that covered all the meetings on Sunday. And then, you know, the youth groups, they would have things going on during the week, too. And we played ball. We played a lot of games and stuff. We had tournaments. We did, I was in a stage show. They call it a road show, okay? So, it was pretty neato. Especially when you get grown up and you realize, when you look back, you realize how wonderful it was. But it takes work. It takes endeavoring, especially for the teachers and all that, you know. And I forgot how I got onto this little segment. I've had this sweet stuff, and so I just am having a really bad aversion to sweet. And I mean, it tastes good going down, but then it messes with you. So, like, I've had just a little bit of this coffee, and it's a sweetener. I don't know. I haven't had it really black that I could say, but I don't think I'd like it black. So they've got these really nifty creamers out there that you pour a little bit of that in there, and it tastes really good. You don't have to add any other sugar. However, it's still a sweetener. It's still messing with my head. So it's like that temptation, you know? You go for it because it tastes good. And then when you're done, you're sick. So you people, take the correlation. I know one of the things I started with was the fact that I made a list of papers that I wrote. And it's in my community. You have to go to the community, and then that'll show you my post. And so I took a picture of it. I wrote it on notebook paper, and I took a picture and put it on here. Mostly, not just mostly, because I'd already done it, but what I'm trying to tell you people, and there should be a way that you can just say, I want everything. And go back to the beginning. The very beginning was July 16th, 23 was when I did my channel, my very first video. It says something about it being an experiment. I didn't turn off the TV. I had noise in the background, but the things I said were good. So after that, I did turn off the noise, or I tried to. For a while there, I didn't. I do need a studio, you know, because your background noises are there. I started my channel when I went back to my property last year, and kept me very busy. But then there'd be things going on, and that shows up in it, you know. And I know I said something about being complacent. Don't do that. You know, you and your mate need to grow together, not fall apart. It takes a great love to stay together, to put up with things. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. I was going to read to you the other longer version of Joseph Smith's testimony, and it's in The Pearl of Great Price, and it is called Joseph Smith History. Okay, because there's another one that's called Joseph Smith, and that's something else. Okay, so I'm going to get off of that subject and tell you a few things. You know, I do want to walk, and the walking has been really good with you people because it gives me a distraction and makes it easier to do. And I found a Zumba with this woman on YouTube. And the first one was really simple, so I don't know about the rest, but as you build up strength, then maybe you can do the rest. But it was fun. I only got up and did it one day with her, but I didn't feel like I was in someone else's house, but no one was there, I guess, at the time. So I was over there doing some Zumba. And that'll be good. I mean, maybe even take the place of walking. So maybe I'll just get on to other things besides walking and talking. I do want to read to you good things out of the Book of Mormon and get you started. Get you desiring to look into that book. You know, when I was trying to make up my business card. I was writing different things, lines, things I wanted to say. Now I'm forgetting them. It went away. But I do. Living manna. Like when you think about the Ten Commandments, that movie, and they're out in the wilderness and stuff, and it's because they've been set free. And so now they're out in the wilderness and they don't know how to take care of themselves, and they don't have any food and water and all that stuff, and they're freaking out. And they were given living manna. Well, that's that fruit of life, that tree of life. I was talking about that vision, okay? So if you get into the Book of Mormon and you start out in the very beginning, it's called Nephi, First Nephi, and his dad is Lehi. And they've left Jerusalem because they were going to be destroyed. They were going to be killed. But so was Jerusalem going to be killed. I might not be saying all my words just quite right. But it was a very important thing what they did. They went into the wilderness, and then they went back for the records, the brass plates. The brass plates had, a record of the time of Adam and Eve, from Adam and Eve on down to where they were, which was 600 years before Christ. And those records were real important. And they had to go back and get them. And if they did not go back and get them, they would have been lost forever. And those things are what they taught out of, okay? They were taught the gospel from the brass plates. And they went and they started a whole brand new nation, okay? They came over to the promised land, which is here, the land of milk and honey, on this continent. My hair's all weirded out. So anyway, inside the Book of Mormon, you will find all kinds of things. There will be, there's words of Isaiah in the Book of Mormon. You know, you've got the Bible, but like I said, God has taught his people all over the place, wherever they are, the people of God, prophets. Prophets are the mouthpiece of God. And we'll say Jesus, because Jesus is God, people. He's God the Son. He's God the Redeemer. Now, the Holy Ghost testifies of the truthfulness of a lot of things. But his thing is to testify of God and Jesus. But he's also considered God. So it gets a little technical. God the Father is the Father of our spirits. And we have a mother. You know, you can't have a father without a mother. You guys have to remember that mothers are so important. So important. And you mothers that are at home thinking, oh, I'm not accomplishing anything. I'm not getting on with my life. I'm just stuck in this bog with these children who don't appreciate anything. That some people think they're entitled when they're not. What do they call them? Millennials? I know my eyes look bad too. I need big eyes. And no, I haven't gotten stoned. I got home last night and I have nothing. Anyway, we were gone, I guess, a week and a half. A hard week and a half. Okay. Say, because Papa Bear was on his way out. It just wasn't good. It's not easy to watch someone die. Sit there and struggle. Okay. So, I've already talked way too much. 43:36. See, if I'd have been there a second or two longer, it would have been 43:33. Anyway, people, do yourself a favor and find that book, find that church. And I was talking about the Tree of Life. That's what it was. And I've told you about it before. It's a vision that you'll see in the very first part of the Book of Mormon. And actually there's two of them. And just like what I've been reading to you, there's a more detailed version. Okay, because Lehi saw this vision of the Tree of Life and of the straight and narrow path. And beside it was the iron rod, which is the Word of God. That's the symbolism, people, okay? So, across the river over here is this big and spacious building, humongous building, with all these people partying and laughing at the people who were walking on the straight and narrow path. You know how many people, how many times do you get criticized for what you believe or tempted to come stray away? So it says, hold to the rod, the iron rod. It's the Word of God. It will safely guide you through. Okay, so there's always mist of darkness. I mean, it's really dark, so you can't see. That's why you hold on to the rod. And then you go, I'm sorry you can't see me. So I grab that rod, hold on to the rod, and stay on the straight and narrow path. And when you get past all that darkness, where you haven't been able to see, there's this big tree, this humongous tree, with this beautiful fruit. I don't know how they say it. Beautiful fruit that there's nothing that compares, okay? And then you taste it. Oh my. That's the Word of God. That is the tree of life. And the taste is beyond compare. It's so sweet. So you people out there thinking you're having fun in your darkness, you're not. How many times? Some people don't even remember what they've done. They've done so many drugs, mind-altering things, that they're either blacked out or they just don't remember anything. They've got all their attention on this, and they're missing everything. So, take that analogy, find the book. That would be the start. Find the missionaries. That would be a better start. Now, they're sweet. Those missionaries are so sweet. And they're young, and they're full of faith. And they're out there to teach you, if you're willing. Try not to slam the door in their face. It's so facing rejection all day long, just so that you can find one person that will listen to you, that is interested to listen, not just will listen, tolerate you. No, they want you. Like a person that I met in Walmart. It was a miracle, and I hope she's listening. She's young, and she was here from California. Her grandmother had cancer, and I gave her one of my ointments. I had it in my purse, so I gave her one of my ointments to give to her grandmother. But see, there was a weird circumstance that got us to where we could talk. And it was, when I say, I'm going to tell you that little story. And you'll know who you are if you're listening to me. I'm at Walmart, and I'm over in the protein shakes and stuff like that. I'm over in the nutritionals. And there's this girl, a young woman. She's all digging through, trying to find something, and she can't find it. I says, what are you looking for? I don't know this woman, but what I'm saying. I could tell she was frantically looking for something and she couldn't find it. I'm going, what are you looking for? So she told me. And it was a protein shake, and there was a certain flavor that she wanted, okay? Because the other flavors were there, but there was one section that was empty. She was going, oh. She says, I'll just go to Target. Okay, so they ended up leaving and going a certain direction. And then I left from where they were and went the other direction. And in the middle of the aisle, there was a shelving unit full of what she was looking for. So I grabbed it. And then I went off to find her. And I hadn't really paid attention to her, what she looked like and all that stuff. But I saw her. And I said, are you the one I was just talking to? And then I held up the bag and showed it to her, and she was so happy that she didn't have to make that other trip. But you can take a correlation of that. What you want might be right over the next corner. So don't give up. But anyway, okay, so I'm over there, and I showed it to her, and she was so excited and stuff, and we talked a little bit, and then I went to leave. And then I went, oh, I need to tell her about my channel. So I went back. I turned my cart back around and went over to where she was, and I gave her my card, talked to her about that and told her what my channel was about. And when I mentioned Jesus, she was so excited. She said, I am just getting into him. I didn't know anything. And she was just learning. And she was like an open book with nothing written, ready to receive what you give her. And she asked me, because I told her, about Jesus and stuff. And so she asked me to do something simple for beginners so that she could learn. And I tried to do what she wanted, but then I found for myself to tell someone about Jesus. Who is Jesus? And why is he so important? I had to go back to the pre-existence to tell about him. Not when he landed here on this earth, but before. Jesus Christ is the firstborn Spirit of our Mother and Father in heaven. And I said it before and I didn't know if I was right, but then I read it after. So yeah, I was right. Firstborn Spirit in heaven. Because Mom and Dad in heaven, when they started their world and stuff, they started creating children. Okay, so he's been with the Father since the beginning. And he is the God of this earth through his Father. So I couldn't tell anything simple. If I'm going to tell about him, that's where I went to. And that's a little foreign thing for everybody. The pre-existence. We were born as Spirit's children. And we grew up and did things, learned things, did all kinds. We got a lot of learning from our pre-existence. Then we came here and your memories are blocked from that time. So you're here to be tested. I've got to find something to eat. And I do have leftovers from last night. Oh my God, I was going to tell about that. Philip and Nancy and the children and me went to a restaurant. What was that restaurant called? Baja Breeze. Oh my God, it was so good. The food was delicious. And yes, I had a couple of drinks. I had a Bloody Mary. I was feeling really sick. The plane did this number here, coming down. And then, I've been feeling sicky anyway for a while. And then they parked in a parking lot that was right outside of the airport. And so getting out of that, we were going around circles. I was trying to hold it together. So when they asked if, I wanted a drink, I know that I like Bloody Marys. And the reason is there's salt. It's not sweet. It tasted really good. And I thought, for some reason, I thought that might help how I felt, actually. And it did. The salt and stuff, it really did. But by the time, I was just ready to get in bed when I got home. But it was a wonderful place. If you ever get the chance to go, it would be a wonderful place for a date. An expensive place. But the food was good. So I'm going to have some. I just remembered. So I'm feeling kind of sicky right now. I need to get with the program. I need to eat real food. And I need to get off the sugar. And I need to drink a lot of liquid because I'm taking that infusion thing. And now I'm trying to figure out what am I going to do for my... See, I have an appointment for my injections and my infusion. But then if I take off across country and go see my daughter and my grandkids and stuff, I have to set up something else because I have to have that treatment every 28 days. I could go and then come back, But I'm sure Nancy's ready for me to go. This is her domain, her kingdom, because right now she's not married. She has been married to a fella that she really loves. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is this is her domain. And just like Dad would say to me every once in a while, he'd say, "This is my kingdom." And I understand. I'm the king of my house. Well, I was the king and queen of my house, okay. That's the way I felt about it. It was mine. However, those things are not so important when you're looking at death. Can't take it with you. Love, feelings of love, memories, and the things that you have learned here is what you'll take. So it's real important not to be lackadaisical, which means being lazy. Not seeing the importance of what you need to do. So hopefully I've stirred you up. And I've got to go take care of myself and get some food in me because I am getting sick. And I'll be back. You know I will. I'll be reading that. It was really long. I looked it up to see how long. It was way long, and I'd already read a bunch, so I couldn't do that. So I'm going to read that Joseph Smith history in the Pearl of Great Price. I'll read that next. And I need a postcard. I've got these index cards that I bought so that I can write things, little notes down, because there's so many memories that I would share, but they're too long. And I do talk in circles and in stories. I take after Jesus. You know, he taught in parables, which is telling stories. And then you take from the story what you want. And the first time you hear it, you might not get it. In fact, what he did was he talked in parables to the people, to the masses, and then he would take his apostles that walked with him, and he would explain the meaning of those stories. Okay? And even in the meaning, even in the explanation, they might not get it right away. It's kind of like, I haven't read very many books. But it's like movies, too. If you watch them over and over again, you keep finding new things that you did not see before. New understandings and stuff. And I'm sweating. Just all of a sudden. So that's those hot flashes. The doctor wants me to, or she offered me something different. But I need to get more information on it. In other words, she offered something that the side effect would get rid of the hot flashes. But it's a mood enhancer. I like mood enhancing, you know, but I don't want the side effects if there's bad side effects, and I had heard there are. So, my marijuana is good for my mood enhancer, but I'm sure it will not take care of my sweats, and I've got water pouring off of me. I mean, my back will get all wet, my arms are wet, my face, everything. You know, when they said the blood poured out of every pore, Jesus did that. The blood was everywhere. No, I didn't see that, but that's what I've read, what I understand. But what I'm trying to say is I understand that. I understand that a lot more now because that happens to me all the time. Not blood, but perspiration out of nowhere. And it's out of every pore. It's even in between my fingers. It's just weird. So I want it to go away. And gabapentin helps the sweats go away, but then it puts you to sleep. So I do need to discover what she's talking about a little more. I didn't give her, I said, aren't there side effects with that? So, yes, when you're going through menopause, you might need a mood enhancer. I don't even know all the things that affect you, you know, like you lose control, get angry. I felt that. And I've been the person that's happened to also. And I took, what was that pill I took? I don't even know what it was, but they had me on something. I was asking for focus, and they put me on something. And this was when I was still back at home. And I found myself going into rages. And when I realized what was going on, then I quit taking that. Because it was the drug they put me on that did it. And you know what was weird is I wanted to take Vyvanse to help me focus and get something done. We don't give that to people over 55. Okay. So what she says is, I will give you this other drug as long as you will take the blood pressure medicine. Anyway, why? Why didn't they just give me the Vyvanse? Because what they ended up doing was I took that pill, and it sent me into rages. I even kicked it to the ground once because I was so mad. And one time I was on the phone with Social Security, and I yelled at them, and I hung up. That's not normal for me. So I got off those things, and that's been a couple of years. But I do need something to control the sweats. It's horrid. You can be fine, sitting there just fine, and all of a sudden, boom, you got water everywhere, out of every pore. Anyway, I gotta have that fixed. I'll have to figure out how to do that. And the main thing, that's not what I meant to say. I meant to say, in between time, let's try to be happy. Hold on to the rod. It'll safely guide you through. Because you're going through darkness. And I'm trying to bring you the light. I hope that I reach some of you. I hope I reach all of you. And here's the deal. When you find the truth and you believe it, then you have to share it. You're obligated to share it. Don't let that scare you. But it's like God's army. We are part of his army. Not with bad weapons, but with good. Bring the light so there can't be dark. And if we have so much light going around, there really can't be dark. It'll just picture it dissipating. It's gone. But Satan's here. So all his followers are here. So beware. 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 That's one of those Disney cartoon shows with the elephants or something. I don't know all the words. A long time ago when my first, goodness, my very first granddaughter was with me a lot. And so I watched a lot of Disney cartoons, okay? And then when she left about 5 years old, she was taken to another state with her family. I quit watching them, but some of those Disney cartoons were really good. I don't know what they've got these days. Well, I've passed an hour. Okay. I don't know what I could leave you with except for what I've tried to give you already. And I do wish, seriously, Krista and TJ, if you know where one of those books are that I wrote in, I'd love to have that. I just want it. I can give it back to you, but I want to make another template. And really what I need to do is go back to my property and get into that shed. I had a box full of Book of Mormons, and I tried to keep one as a template. Because I know, if you give a Book of Mormon to somebody, if you don't tell them what it's all about and give them enticement and stuff, they're not going to open that book. It'll just be shoved off into the side. They won't know. So I guess reading it is the best thing. I'll have to get back to that. So I would say on my card, you know, come take a trip with Lou back in time, and I will show you some trippy scriptures. See, there's not a rhyme there. I was trying to think of a rhyme. But sometimes the rhyme that I think of isn't appropriate. So, anyway, help me. No, that's not what I want to say. Let me help you get to that tree of life and taste of that beautiful, beautiful fruit. Like living manna. Okay? My eyes are all swollen shut. I don't know why. Part of it is, maybe it's that medicine they're putting through me. So I need to do some Zumba. If you go to my history, you'll probably see her, because I did do a few of them the other day, and I'm going to see if I can't get it up there on Nancy's TV, so I've got room in the living room. I can go do some Zumba. I think there was a 10-minute, she had a 10-minute program that was real easy to do. That would give you 2,500 steps. That's better than nothing. And music helps you move, okay? You guys have helped me walk. Talking to you has helped me walk. But it's now getting to be wintertime and cold, and so I need to find something I can do in the house that will do the same. And dancing is the deal. I love dancing. So, give me some good music, help me move. And maybe I'll not be putting on weight, because that's what I feel like. I feel like my face is all puffy. And I know this is, if I had my teeth in my mouth, this would be extended and I wouldn't have this. And I wouldn't have these wrinkles that are coming around. This right here should be sticking out further. I got to go to a dentist and see if I can't fix that. It's maddening that I paid all that money for those teeth and I don't wear them. I got used to myself the way I am. And then when they did my teeth, I don't think they did them right. So I need to go and investigate that. Because it feels like here's my gums, then here, and then the teeth are sticking out here. So when you go to bite down and stuff, it doesn't feel right. It feels like my teeth should be under my gums. So I'm going to work on that. In the meantime and between time, that's what I was going to say. You know, I think they've said in the past, just set a goal to at least read 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And then, as you're reading, you'll want to read more. But just start. Even a couple of verses without taking a whole long time. You know, I guess we could have a daily devotional. One of my people, I think it was Linda, says, "Why are you not doing a Bible study?" Well, I am. It's a Book of Mormon study. and the Book of Mormon goes hand in hand with the Bible, okay? So I guess that's what I need. I don't know where my Doctrine and Covenants is. Not that, no. Mormon doctrine. Mormon doctrine. Because it's a topical guide, and it gives you scripture references all over the place. And I've said it before, I want you to kind of take that to heart. The Bible. This is my own words, okay? The Bible is like a lovely cake. It's not really so lovely sometimes. But what I'm trying to say is for those people who believe in the Bible, that they think, oh no, we can't read the Book of Mormon. The Bible is like a cake. It's really good. The Book of Mormon is the icing on the cake, which makes it sweet. It helps you to understand the Bible. It does not take away from the Bible. Okay? Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid to crack that book. Open it. I used to just open it up wherever it fell and read. Because there's something everywhere in there that's good. Okay? I'm going to let you go. I know. And I keep sticking my big old fat face right in front of you. Life will be good. Just take all your experiences and try to make them good. If they're not good, oh my. So there's times I just don't want to fight. I don't want to argue. I just want to be peaceful, and someone's not going to let you. So I don't know what you can do. So try to remove yourself. But when you're in a moving car running down the road and someone is giving you hell, you can't really get away from it very good. You know? I'm not going to open the door and fall out. It's like, oh. Anyway, do the best you can with what you got. Try to love your family and try to find the church because they are your family too. I need to go wash my hair. All right. You guys take care, all right? What can I say? I do need to get that hymn book out. So there's the hymn book for the children. Teaches you the gospel in so simple a way. Simple and precious. And I don't want to cry, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stop here in just a second. When it gets to 33, I'll probably be at 32. I can never do it just right, but it's close. Bye, y'all.